welcome to Not Quite Scholars, a podcast by three knuckleheads and one of their hot wives and smart wives.
Still gonna say no.
I am your host, John Klein. These are also your hosts.
I'm Brock Haddock.
And I am Timothy Tibbles, joining you guys on set
Yeah!
For the first time.
for the first
And
time.
this is?
Tiffany Klein.
Yes, it is. This is our first, technically second, pre-recorded podcast. Our first one was last week, and that went horribly wrong.
Major success.
so bad.
It was a poop.
Okay.
No, it
There
was
you go.
fun. It was really fun.
It was really fun to
but
do.
yeah.
We were able to work out a lot of kinks, which is why we're able to do this today.
Yes.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Brock.
I agree. We solved a lot of
He
problems.
says. Yeah, we did solve a lot of problems. Hopefully, this will be much better. In the past, we've talked about making things a little more lighthearted, and so that's what we're doing today. Still gearing towards biblical ministry. This is still a ministry podcast, but making things a little more lighthearted. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was little, I had like this little stuffed bear that
Yes.
I would sleep with and stuff. Like when I was like a little toddler and stuff.
Had a little stuff.
And so hopefully that's a good segue into my topic.
What flavor was the bear? Black, brown, grizzly?
I don't
What are we
remember.
talking
It
about?
was a
The
Pooh
bear?
Bear.
A poo.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Lemon
So,
flavor.
I was gonna say honey.
Honey, that's better.
Yeah.
Definitely what I said.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah, that
lemon,
one.
so I like her answer better.
Honey tastes like bee spit. Fight me.
Oh wow,
Honey
Facts.
tastes
is that our
It's more,
topic
it's more like
today?
bee
No.
vomit.
Is it honey
Facts.
tastes like bee spit or bee spit tastes like honey?
Doesn't matter. I want that bee to spit in my
No,
mouth
honey.
and call me
She's eating-
honey.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my Lanta,
I was not paying attention, and I feel like it was a good thing.
that's fine.
Yeah. To answer your question, Tibbles,
You're eating the
mean,
honey. It's the honey that tastes like
it's a
bee spit.
Right.
Yeah.
But is the honey the bee spit itself?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's literal
Yeah.
bee spit.
Yeah. So it's amazing.
I can't ever get over that fact. Like I won't eat a lot of things that taste like honey. How am I trying to say this? If it has too much of a honey flavor, I'm like, nope, tastes like bee spit. I don't want it.
So,
But if it's mixed with something else, it's fine.
since we're all comfortable eating animal excrement or bug excrement, would you eat cheese made from maggot refuse?
Ew, no.
It's a whole thing.
No.
All
Absolutely
right.
not.
Well, then
Absolutely not.
Cool. We'll stop at honey.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just for the pun. Just for the pun. Sorry to rabbit trail from your bear thing.
Oh, that's
but
okay.
Yeah. Talk
Bears
about
are the
your-
topic because
talk
there
about
was a
bear.
bear that was caught. This is so funny to me. I don't know why.
Oh gosh.
I truly don't know why this is really funny to me, but it is. A large black bear who is believed to be notorious bandit and a hungry, uninvited house guest was apprehended by wildlife biologists on Friday.
Apprehended is a weird way to put that.
Yes, this bear was responsible for 28 break-ins,
Oh my gosh.
and they have named him
Crack bear.
Hank the Tank.
And they
Dang.
arrested Hank the Tank.
They literally, a bear was arrested for breaking into homes.
Can you imagine the size of those handcuffs?
They were probably more like shackles.
Right. They would have to be.
They
would have
whipped
to-
out the medieval shackles.
They would have to be bigger than the Imperial handcuffs from Star Wars Episode 4 when they tried to put Chewbacca in the handcuffs
Nerd.
and they were too small to fit.
There you go.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
We all thought it.
Obviously.
That's where I went. Chewbacca's a walking, talking bear.
So this isn't the same thing as Cocaine Bear. This is just Yogi what fell on hard times
Right.
and turned into a crackhead and started breaking into people's houses.
Literally just broke into people's
Except-
houses.
trying to get some
except
stuff
it's
from
not
Hulu.
Yogi.
And it wasn't caught.
Tank.
This is what's
The
crazy.
Tank.
This is what's crazy to me. He wasn't caught for 28 break-ins.
Oh my gosh.
That's true. That's true.
Like,
he got away with it.
Is a bear. Like,
There's
how do you
27
miss a
of 'em?
bear?
Well,
He got away with 27 break-ins.
That's super awesome.
Okay, so here's another fun fact. Hank the Tank was actually discovered that he was actually female.
Where did these cans come from? Wait a minute. What? What was it that you said, John?
It was Hank the Tank.
Hank's
Hank the
Tank.
Tank
got
came in
that.
and was a burglar, but a reverse burglar. He added stuff. I'm so sorry.
Hank the Tank is actually.
Did you
How
just
dare you
misgender?
misgender Hank the
Sorry.
Tank? Brock, Hank the Tank was actually a female.
wait. So it was a Harriet the Chariot this whole
Yeah,
time?
exactly.
No way.
Exactly.
That's
Harriet the
just-
Chariot.
Oh my
That's
God.
ridiculous. You guys,
Ridiculous.
That was good. No, okay, so to continue. This was a bear that was I couldn't get information. It wasn't a captive bear, but it was a bear with a collar. So it was actually
like,
like an assign like
Was it
had
furry?
It had been tagged.
it had been tagged.
No, it was not a furry.
no, was it furry?
What
Not a
Was the
furry.
collar furry?
My
was
goodness,
the bear furry?
Timothy.
What you're asking is was the collar
It's not
furry?
even relevant anymore.
It's not. No, I'm just kidding.
He tainted my question.
Um,
So it was a pet.
No, it wasn't. It was not a
It was.
bear
It
in
didn't have
captivity.
a collar, or was it tagged? What did it have?
it had a collar. The collar came off. Then it did all of these
So it's like,
burglars.
I'm
It was
tired
like-
of being your house bear, and he was freed and started breaking stuff everywhere.
Basically.
I don't
Here's
want to
the
be Winnie
thing.
the Pooh anymore. I want to be the cocaine bear.
He saw the movie and was inspired.
She.
She.
Sorry,
How
Hank.
dare
Harriet.
you?
Which
How
bathroom
dare
does
you?
it use? Golly, I don't even know anymore.
Somebody touch my spaghetti.
Somebody touch my spaghetti.
No. Okay. So DNA. So this is what it says. DNA testing confirmed that the bear captured on Friday, who was formerly known as Bear 64F, was a female behind at least 21 cases of breaking and entering.
That still is just like baffling. How do you not catch a bear after like the third break-in, let alone 21
First off,
Oh,
more?
this'll
hold
get you.
on.
It's
Bears
not
are
like-
fast.
Yeah, and then also there's like tracks and stuff.
Right,
Right.
they're massive.
Speaking of tracks, it had 3 cubs in tow.
Where
And
did-
it still got away with
Got
all
away
of
with
this.
all of this.
That's a mama on a mission.
So this
She
this
ain't got
bear
time for that. She got mouths to feed.
so Hank the Tank, who's actually Harriet,
Harriet
the
the Chariot.
is living a life of crime and raising her children in this life of crime to form a bear crime syndicate.
It's from a bad neighborhood. Which state was this in?
Colorado.
No.
I don't know.
Wyoming, Montana.
Might as well be. No, Lake. Hold on.
If you say Lake Tahoe, California, we're gonna have problems.
I see Sacramento as
California.
a place
This is in
that-
California.
Lake
Go
Tahoe.
figure, everybody.
Lake Tahoe. I can't believe you guessed that. Lake Tahoe, California.
This makes perfect sense now. It all makes perfect sense.
The more homes that were vandalized in this ritzy waterfront community of the Tahoe Keys, about 100 miles east of Sacramento, the more the public came to the defense of Hank the Tank, blaming the bear's behavior on unsecured garbage cans and habitat encroachment.
Everybody always takes the
You
side
pronounced
of
that
Of the bear.
Of the well, no, I was just gonna say of the criminal.
I'm more impressed with how you were able to guess.
How'd
Lake
you do that?
Tahoe. Are you a clairvoyant? Do
No,
you speak with the undead?
it just made perfect sense to me that it would be Lake Tahoe, California.
But that's so
Well,
specific.
you lived in California.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. We
Did
moved
you-
here when I was 13, so most of my life has been Oklahoma.
Right.
But that just seemed perfect. I used to go to, so when I was a kid, my parents were staff at this really epic summer camp called Camp Cedar Crest. I don't know where that is in relation to Lake Tahoe in California, but I do remember that all of the trees around the camp had out of bounds signs because at night bears would come out and they would rummage the dumpsters and we're like, oh, there's the grizzlies, you know. And Lake Tahoe,
So casual.
Lake Tahoe has become a really popular. I mean, it was always popular, but over time, it seems that more and more things have come up about it. And so, if anywhere was going to be a bear that has, or anything with too much freedom and liberal agendas, I would
There's
assume
no such thing as too much freedom.
I would assume that it would have been there. And so it just kind of made sense. You said lake, and I was like, California, Lake Tahoe. If he says Lake Tahoe, it's just going to be because all the things that I just came up with in my head were swirling around, and voila, somehow that was the case.
When I was
nuts.
when I was a youth, when I was a
youth?
youth,
You were
This
a
is a
youth-
good story.
you know where I'm going with
I
this.
do.
When I was a youth in Oklahoma, just north of Tulsa.
Hey,
Ayo, let's go. I went to this. It was Youthquake. It was called Youthquake.
yes.
Yes.
I know-
So
I know it quite
it's like
well.
a summer camp, but it's in the Colorado like mountains, whatever.
right outside of a town called Como,
Yeah.
which is like 20 people.
Yeah, it's really small. But they didn't enforce it, but they said don't bring food, right?
Yeah,
So I brought
everyone
food.
always did.
Yeah, of course, I brought food.
It's the only way
Um,
to survive at summer camps.
In this entire little community of Youthquake, I am known as the Bear Kid.
Oh no.
I can't make this up. So I really can't. So we were, I was in high school. I was a senior in high school. And all of the senior guys, we set up our tents in a U shape against the tree line because, as boys do, we wanted to have a fight club. So,
Wait. Are you allowed to talk about this?
right, exactly.
Too late.
It's too late. I'm already dead. Anyway, we put it against in a U shape against the tree line. All right, and again, as boys do, we had a pee corner. We said we're gonna try to make a lake out of urine.
Disgusting.
It was really gross.
How many of you were there?
There were like at least 15 of us.
So how many gallons apiece?
Yeah, that's a great
not
question.
nearly
No,
enough.
it was not.
Yeah, no, Youthquake is not like a small thing either.
No.
Like,
There were a lot of churches.
Sounds so
But I was
gross.
just talking about our church and our group. We made a U.
Yeah.
We had a pretty large youth group, right? So
Yeah,
anyway,
we did.
so we all made a pact though that we were only going to pee in a specific spot close to our campsite, which in retrospect was a horrible idea. Horrible idea.
Because you're gonna smell it the whole time.
Oh yeah, it was disgusting. So we're up at the main campsite, which is just up the hill a little bit, right? And we had our worship, we had our main speaker talk, and then we split off into small groups, which were the individual churches. And the entire time, I had to pee so bad. I've never had to pee so bad in my life. Like, easily, hands down, never had to pee so bad in my life. And the whole time we were like praying, and it was the longest prayer of my life. The whole time I was just like, I gotta pee. And finally, I said, "Amen." I took my folding chair and I bolted down to the campsite. Right. As I start making my way down, it's dark. It's pitch black. I've got my headlamp on, and I go in between my tent and my buddy's tent, and I see my tent. I get close, and I see that my tent is like open and has all my stuff out.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I think, oh, funny guys, like this is funny joke, right? Then I get closer and I notice it's not open. It's like torn
Ripped.
open. It is completely ripped open. And I immediately think, oh no, there's a bear. And so what do? I put my chair up in front of me.
'Cause
Like-
gonna
Thinking
be-
that's
gonna
gonna
be
help.
helpful
Wait,
against a
are you
bear.
talking about like a circus lion tamer where he holds the stool and has the whip?
Exactly
And
right.
you're like, I've got my chair. This'll stop it.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
I
You know,
mean, to
this
be
is
fair,
it. This is my protection.
That
This
sounds
is my
perfectly
armor.
logical for the age
Exactly.
and frame of
Perfectly
mind.
logical, right?
Yeah,
For a
it's better
17-year-old.
than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
I start making my way closer to just like inching my way, like really, really slow.
By this time, you forget that you have to pee.
Oh yeah, I've forgotten the whole time. I get to it like just in between our tents, and out of my buddy's tent. His name's Jacob. Outside of Jacob's tent, a bear pops out, close as me to Brock. Bear, full-grown black bear,
God.
pops out and looks at me, just stares at me. I go numb. You know those cartoons where it's like.
Where they start going crazy. And
Yes.
Yeah.
That's real.
Looney Tunes. The Looney
I didn't
Tunes
realize how real
thing.
that actually was. So I was walking back and I think, oh, they tell us play dead. So I have my chair in front of me and I start slowly sinking. I think, nope, that's not happening. And I see the bear bolt and I turn and hightail it. Right?
Did you pee your pants?
Dude, at this point I don't even know.
He
I don't even
probably
know.
peed in the pee puddle.
Yeah, probably. On my way back, I made a bigger puddle. So, as I'm running up, I see a dad and his small child. And again, Looney Tunes. I stood there blocking them with my whole body. That was me, and it was real.
Did they think you were just praying in tongues?
They thought I was joking.
Oh.
Oh, no.
You were with a youth camp.
Bear. I don't know.
That was me.
Yeah, so they probably thought you were just praying in tongues and loved
I don't know
nature.
what they thought, but they thought I was nuts. Like,
Hey, strangers, if you're watching this and you were the father and son, comment. Let us know,
let us know
what
if
you were
you
thinking.
were the guy. I don't know who that was. I
Yeah.
literally like stopped.
Were they
Whoever
from,
you
like,
are,
another
if
church
you're,
or
They were.
something?
They
tell
had to have
us.
been.
Like to
Like
know.
Sunnybrook or something?
It had to have been somewhere.
Hey, Sunnybrook, shout out. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, you're from Sunnybrook.
Yeah.
There you go. But no, I stop him and I'm literally just going. I'm like dead stopped and I'm just bear. There's a bear. It's a bear. Big. It's big. It's a bear. It's a bear. And they're like, oh, okay. I'm not kidding. That was literally me. And like eventually I make it back to the big tent with all the people, and I'm sitting here white as a sheet, and my friends are around me and they're just like, are you? What's They know the situation, all this stuff. I've told them that. My counselor comes up to me, James,
Oh, yeah, I love
and he
James.
comes up. He looks me in the face. He just gets real close, and he goes, "You need to stop. You're freaking people out." Like, okay, yeah, okay.
That's such a James thing to say.
So
From then
sweet
on,
and compassionate,
everybody-
James.
Yeah.
I want to add to this story
Oh,
as
no.
well.
Were you there?
Oh, come on.
Because yes, he was known as the Bear Kid.
Yeah.
He was purchased
Bear
a
boy.
shirt.
Oh, more than a shirt. I got
More-
sunglasses. I got a shirt. I got plushies.
Yes, and here is a picture of the aftermath.
I'll put the picture up.
Yes.
I freaking love that.
You look like an actual bear. Oh, wait.
No, that is a bear.
That is.
Is that you next to it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody bought me that shirt. Somebody bought me the sunglasses.
Little baby
They
John.
bought you a
Wait.
bear?
What?
No.
Where's this bear
This
now?
is in like a convenience store.
That was in a convenience
Yeah.
store close by.
Oh.
And
Because again, it's in Colorado in the mountains.
So this
it was
is
a big joke.
This is who I'm picturing screaming in
Yes.
tongues
Yes.
with a puddle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right on.
Oh, it was insane.
Right on.
It was crazy.
That's fantastic.
Oh, it was wild. But yeah, so from then on in my entire youth group, luckily I was only there for another half a year. But yeah, I was known as the Bear Kid. Funny enough, the next year somebody encountered a very aggressive moose.
Moose Man.
To be
Bear
fair,
Boy and Moose
I
Man.
would-
That's
Bear Boy and Moose Man. That's the best. That's the best comic strip on the face of the planet.
It could be
sounds
the
like-
it could be the summer camp comic strip, like Rocky and Bullwinkle, but way better.
Right.
Yes.
No, I was gonna say it sounds like a Walmart version Avengers.
Yep.
If you were, or if
It
you were,
kind of reminds me of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
if you were to
Yes.
order them off of Wish.com,
but the land version.
Yeah.
Wish.com version, Colorado Wish.com version of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Bear Boy and Moose Man.
Bear Boy and Moose
what
Man.
would the catchphrase be, John?
Oh,
Since this is your superhero,
just
a grr, a garrower,
Nope.
a garrower. It's a
Okay.
dinosaur.
a
Who has the next topic?
Yeah, there we go.
That one's me.
Tibbs, what do you got?
Well, with the way your story started, I
Oh,
thought it would
Lord.
tie in well with mine, with the
It probably
Winnie
didn't.
the Pooh Bear. But then it went, God knows
Yeah.
where. No, I want to talk about the Christian theological undertones of Toy Story.
Whoa.
Yeah,
What?
It has
That's
that?
fun.
not intentionally.
Oh.
Which like
Most things.
right. It's not intentional, which I think is what makes it like that much more powerful, right? So kind of
Yeah.
going into what we talked about last week, or what I talked about last week with the this universal characteristics that we all share
Mhm.
that like evolution can't explain. Like we all have this desire to have relationship with a higher power, right?
Right.
Which comes out in our even our children's entertainment media, like
Right.
Toy Story, right? So like one of the biggest parallels between our world and Toy Story is so many people behave as if like God doesn't exist, right? So like, so when Andy or another adult walks into the room, or someone walks in the room, like all the toys like play dead, like they're not, like they act like they don't have their own.
Oh, wow.
agency.
Are we
right.
saying that in this, Andy is like the God figure?
Yeah.
And we're the toys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So like so many people have this idea of God as being this like puppet master, right? And then this. Sorry, Brock, I might offend you with this one. This is like one of the key arguments against something like Calvinism, right?
I don't understand why that would offend me in any way.
Because you're borderline Calvinist.
I've never said that we don't have
Is he?
free will.
No. Anyway,
I think he is.
Oh.
so like the idea behind behind Calvinism is that like God ordains all things, right? And if you take that to its logical conclusion, God looks like a puppet master.
There you go.
Right, so like that's the idea behind it. Some people view God as this puppet master, and so then they're like, well, God's in control. I'll do whatever I want. YOLO.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole what will be
Right,
because
right.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
preordained mentality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so like these toys in the movie, like when adults aren't around, they behave as if these adults, don't exist. Right?
Yeah.
They do their own thing. Like they function autonomously. But with their own autonomy. But when they think they're in danger of becoming found out that they have their own autonomy, then they just like play dead, as if as if we were to think that God doesn't know that already.
As
It's
if
like,
God was a bear.
God was a bear.
And they have to play
I
dead.
hope not.
But no, so like I just thought that kind of that parallel was super interesting.
That is interesting.
Well, then, even to go along with what you said, we could even take it a step further. We'll use Andy's toys specifically
Yeah.
as the representation, not just all toys in general. But what did they yearn for more than anything?
Ooh.
Was their
that-
relationship
Yeah.
with Andy.
That one, I was hoping that
And-
someone was going to bring that up.
And not just their relationship with Andy, but then even symbolically, the name on the foot, the
Oh,
ownership.
man.
Yeah.
I am owned and loved by God.
Wow.
I am his. I am
Ooh.
his, and he is mine type of thing, as opposed to the toys that were at the daycare that felt lost and abandoned or whatever, discarded, or were never chosen out of vending machines and what have you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
That's
you can
good.
you can really draw some parallels. It was totally unintentional, but you can draw some serious parallels between Christianity and the relationship with Christ and Andy's toys with Andy. That's
Where does
pretty cool.
Buzz Lightyear fit into this?
He still can't fly.
There it is.
What do
He
you
is a
mean?
child's plaything.
You are a toy.
No, he thinks to himself that he is something that he's not.
But then he
Do
ends up
we really want to get
becoming-
into this?
But
No.
but
He
here's the
converts.
thing.
He converts.
I was gonna say he
He's a ba-
converts,
he
and
was baby.
he is happy to become one of Andy's toys.
Right. Reality kind of slaps him in the
after-
face.
Woo!
before being found by God, before having a relationship with God, we pursued life, or very commonly people will pursue lives with their own intentions, desires, agendas, and goals. And that's more or less what Buzz Lightyear did. And it took time to realize that no, this belonging, this love, this affection, this relationship and compassion that
It
you
is a
have
good thing.
with Andy, that as Christians have with Christ in their relationship with Christ and Christianity, is what fulfills that whole. Even on the first one, when he tried to escape from Sid's house, falls
Right.
down, breaks his leg
Right,
or arm,
reality
and
kind of
he's
slaps him in the face, and he has this whole
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
existential crisis.
yeah.
Right.
And so that was his I'm finding my own way, it's me making my own way kind of thing. And then after the fact, every consecutive movie from then is that relationship with Andy,
Wow.
as new Christians have with
Right.
Christ.
And then in the second one, what do we see like a similar story play out with Jesse and Bullseye, right?
Yeah.
Because Jesse was owned by, there's a whole headcanon that Jesse's previous owner was Andy's mom,
Right.
Mhm.
and so she
I
gets
subscribe to that.
yeah, I do too. So she gets left or abandoned or however you want to look at it, forgotten about, and then she takes on this mentality of no, having owners is a bad thing, right? So
Mm.
she is this Christian who has left the church in favor of atheism.
Who's been hurt.
And right, yeah, she got
Ooh.
hurt by the church. And she takes that to mean that God has abandoned her, whatever you think, right?
Oh my god.
And then she comes back once she realizes what Christianity actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's
Pretty cool.
good.
That's pretty cool.
That
Really
is cool.
good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we see biblical undertones
All over the place.
all over movies.
Well,
Go for it.
you can't help but find biblical undertones all over movies and music, as Tibbs and I were discussing earlier before the podcast. The eyes and the ears are the gateway to the soul.
Yeah.
And those are the things that the devil will use to either manipulate you the most, or if used properly, can minister to you the most. And so whether it's intentional by the people creating it or not, there is a subconscious attempt to influence people.
Right.
And it will have biblical undertones that either support life or support death.
Right, and like that's why people make such a big deal out of people making movies or songs or whatever that they think are portray these dangerous ideas. Because it's like, yeah, okay, like you go see the Barbie movie and someone makes a big deal out of it, yada yada yada. It's like, okay, but no, like the media we consume, like it affects more than just
Mm-hmm.
it's more than just entertainment value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so kind of on that same track of Toy Story and Winnie the Pooh, I had this idea of writing like these children's books about my son's stuffed dinosaurs.
Oh, you told me about this.
Yeah. So he's got a stuffed T-Rex. He's got a Stegosaurus. He's got a Triceratops. And he's got one that we don't really know what he is, so we call him Frank because, quite frankly, we don't know what he is.
A tank, obviously.
What?
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank.
Frank
Frank
the
the
Tank.
Tank. And it's kind of like a dragon-esque, but anyway. But I think it'd be really cool to write these like Dino Tales books as like these Christian stories.
That just makes me think of that old show, Dragon Tales.
Tales.
Dragon Tales, Dragon
That's
Tales.
copyrighted.
Costing us thousands of dollars.
Liability
the
at this point.
podcast.
You're
I'm
off the
off the-
podcast.
I'm
Off
off,
the
I'm out.
podcast. You've been voted off the island. Also
Twice.
copyrighted.
Twice. 3 times. Cool. Well, that's all the time we got. If you guys have any prayer requests or comments or really anything that you want to hit us with.
Questions or suggestions for future topics that you'd be more interested in us talking about, you can email us at
notquitescholars@gmail.com.
Yeah. Be sure to like our Facebook page, share us on Facebook.
Like and subscribe for sure.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify. I haven't checked if we're on Apple Podcasts
It's
yet.
been a couple days since I checked, but last I checked we weren't.
Dang it. What is going on?
Apple, man.
Everybody write your Apple representative.
he goes by the name of Hank
Hank
The
the
Tank.
Tank.
the Tank.
And what was it?
His
Harriet the
wife's name is
Chariot?
Harriet the Chariot.
Chariot.
If that's true, sorry guys. That's just the
Hank and
lot,
Harriet?
the lot that life threw you.
There you go. Well, awesome. Well, we've been Not Quite Scholars.
And
Thank
it's-
you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Bye.